Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Money Matters Top Tips for Success, where each and every day I bring on new business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives and have them share their top tips for success with you. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Lori Ann Roth on the line, and she's president, coach, and corporate trainer over at Learning and Reflective Growth. Lori, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much, Adam. Thanks for having me on your show.
So I'm excited to get more into what you're doing over at Learning and Reflective Growth, but before we do that, let's get a little bit further into your background. So how did you get started in your career in business?
Well, it's interesting because I've always known what I've wanted to do since I was 15 years old. And I used to teach kids how to swim. And when I got my first adult and tried to teach her how to swim, it was a whole new experience for me. She wouldn't jump in the pool. Her son was, everybody was. And I decided, this is really interesting, helping adults learn stuff. So I built my whole education from that. I have an undergrad in psychology and communications, a master's in adult education, and a Ph.D. in adult learning and human resources management. So all my education went that way. And so did my experience. That's what I've been doing since I was 15 now, is helping adults learn stuff.
That's awesome. So that being said, you've been in the training, the coaching space for quite some time, actually your whole career. And actually, if we're going back to your teenage years like you just did, then yeah, your whole life, really. So that being said, there's some other, let's just say, entrepreneurs or would-be entrepreneurs that are maybe just getting started in their career. So they're just graduating college, or maybe they didn't go to college and they're going, and they're going right into the workforce, and they have that passion or that inner thing that causes them to want to train or to become a coach and to help people, because that's ultimately what you're doing. What kind of advice would you give to that newbie that's maybe just getting started out there?
Well, Adam, I've started my own business twice now. I had one before I just did training, and this one, as you said, I did training and coaching. And the advice I'd give is don't give up. Be persistent. And if something's stopping you from doing something, then don't think of it as something wrong or blocking your way. Think of, how can I fix this? How can I make it better? And every failure is actually a chance to learn. And I know that sounds trite, but it's so true. Just really learn from your mistakes. Don't do them again. And find people to help you. There's so many people out there that love to be mentors. And baby boomers are the biggest population group out there for millennials. So go for it.
That's awesome. Love that advice, Lori. Let's switch it up a bit. I do want to get into what you're doing over at Learning and Reflective Growth. So first, tell us a little bit more about the business, please.
Sure, absolutely. I just started this business when I moved to Florida from the D.C. area about 3.5 years ago. And at first it was kind of tough because I started in the Sarasota area, and it's mostly manufacturing. I haven't worked with manufacturing at all. But I got out there, and now after 3.5, almost 4 years, my business is doing pretty good. And like I said, that persistence really helped. I got to know a lot of people in this area, and I knew nobody to start with. So just, keep going out there, meeting people, let people know how you can help. And that's what I did, is I just, how can I help you? How can I help you? And with the coaching, too, that's kind of nice because a lot of my, I would say, friends and work colleagues trusted me. So they asked me to become their coach. And that's kind of how I got really going in coaching.
That's awesome. And I understand you have a book out also. Please tell us a little bit more about that.
Oh, I'm so excited about that. Thanks for asking, Adam. Yes, my book came out May 2019. It's called The Journal Book, Your Journaling Journey. And what it does is it lists over 25 different types of journals. A lot of people don't realize that there's so many different types of journals out there. And it gives a definition of each one. I talk about how I use them because I have a whole lot of journals that I use. I've been journaling since I was 12 years old. And so that's been a really long time since let's say I'm over 50 right now. And I just really think that everybody journals somehow, even though they don't even know it. So the journal book's sort of like it's great for beginners. It's great for people that journal a lot. And people think that, I'm interested in this. How can I learn more about it? Read the journal book. It's a lot of fun, and you get a lot of information about it.
No, I love it. I love the concept. When I looked it up before the show, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so genius. And for the journalers out there, I mean, there's just this little picture that you have in there of like all these journals. To say that you have a few journals is an understatement. I'm counting like 100 there. Easy.
Well, it's interesting because that picture was just a picture of the journals in my office. I have a whole bunch tucked away underneath the stairs in boxes. In fact, I had a couple people calling me the journal lady.
That's amazing. I love it.
I hope it sticks. That's kind of cool.
Well, a question about journaling, because I know people that have kept up with journaling their entire lives, like you. I know a couple, and believe it or not, and I know some that are kind of like the off and on journaler. I'm the off and on journaler. I start, I try, and then I fall off the wagon, then I jump back on, and I'll never stop because I love it, and I love looking back at them. What has journaling done for or meant in your life?
Oh, my goodness. I have so many different types of journals. And I say the journaler is whenever you want to write in it, that's the time you should write in it. I don't stick with a strict day-to-day kind of thing. But the thing that gets me is I have a journal of possibilities. And what I do is I write down what I want to happen in the next couple of years, in the next month, whatever. And last time it's almost like a vision board, but in Word. So I did that. I wrote the whole entire story, and that's how I got my house in Florida. It's also how I met my husband, by the way. I wrote down a huge list of what I want in a husband, and woohoo! I got a good one.
That's amazing. Some of the people who are listening to this are like, well, I'm going to grab. That's a great way to grab the book right there, the journal book. Get your husband or wife.
Yeah, it also helps at work too. With a business journal, you write down what you want to do, the goals, etc. So for business, journaling is really awesome.
Oh my gosh, I love it. So Lori, if somebody is listening to this and they want to learn more about your coaching business and all the great work you're doing, what's the right type of client for you? Like, are there any particular niches you work with? Any particular type of clients that you gravitate towards, just so they know if they're the right type of person to be following up with you?
Yeah, absolutely. I like to work with business people, and that's anybody in the workforce that wants to do better. I don't work with people that are not doing well. I like to take people from good to great, and that's the kind of people I like to work with. And also for coaching, same kind of thing, but I've also worked with Ph.D. candidates, people that are ABD, all but dissertation, and help them through that last dissertation stage. So a lot of different types of coaching in there as well. But mostly making people better than they are right now. My motto is be your best you.
Perfect. And then in terms of the corporate training standpoint, what type of businesses do you like working with?
Well, I've worked with almost every single kind of business out there, from higher education to nonprofit to manufacturing to service industries. Pretty much a lot of leadership training I've done, some customer service training. But I work mostly with leadership training, just try to making groups better. I'm also certified in a lot of different tools, such as the oldie but goodie Myers-Briggs, emotional intelligence, and some of the new upcoming ones, such as Lumina Learning Spark, which is a good one out there right now.
Oh, that's awesome. So, Lori, if somebody is listening to this and they do want to follow up with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
Sure, they can go to my website, which is larg.com. That's Learning and Reflective Growth, or Lori Ann Roth Goddess, although my husband, who is Garcia, likes to say it's Garcia. So larg.com. Also, you can find me on LinkedIn, Lori Ann Roth. And let's see, I also have a Facebook page, Learning and Reflective Growth. You can look me up there.
Perfect. And then to grab your book, the journal book, how do they get that?
Oh, it's on Amazon.com right now. So just go to Amazon, type in Lori Ann Roth or the journal book, Your Journaling Journey.
Perfect. Well, Lori, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background, business, and the awesome book, the journal book. So congrats on that. That's never an easy thing to put out a book. So awesome content there. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store, share this with your friends, your family, your colleagues. I mean, do all those great things we do to support our podcasters. I really do appreciate it. And Lori, thanks again for coming on the show.